It's MistaJam on Capital Dance, and right now I am joined by an artist who I've been a big fan of for a number of years, but this is the first time that we're meeting in person. Biscits, how are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
It is an absolute pleasure, honestly. You know how long I've loved what it is that you do, and it's great to see you in the studio. We were having a debate as to where you'd have to travel in from today.
Wow.
Because you are one of our best international exports. When I look at your Insta, you're everywhere.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting a gig in Southampton. But it would be a lot easier for me.
So you're Southampton-based, Southampton born and bred?
Yes, I am. And big up the Southampton Massive.
Yes.
Okay. Like I was saying before, I come from a long line of Southampton musical legends. Okay. Dare I repeat them?
Yes!
Right. It's me. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Artful Dodger.
Yeah.
It's Craig David. It's the drummer from Coldplay.
But the reason why we've got you in is because Freak is our Jam Hot Record of the Week.
Thank you so much.
Hey, listen, it wouldn't be the Record of the Week if it wasn't a great tune.
Man, thank you. You're making me blush.
Sorry about that. But I mean, I want to take you back to the kind of the genesis of the idea, because people who are like of a certain vintage will remember 1995 and Adina Howard.
Yes.
Freak Like Me. People of another certain vintage will remember the Sugar Babes cover.
Yes.
Of that.
Big time. Yeah.
And you've taken the essence of the song and took it straight to the 2025 club. Talk to me about the process.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm constantly on the hunt for acapellas, classic samples to remix and stuff. And normally I might start an idea with one. I'll find it. I'll start, making a tech house beat. But then we get to a point and I'm like, there's no way we can clear this. Like, why am I even bothering trying to sample like this Michael Jackson hit?
The way you make it? No, it's not going to happen.
But this time, I made this track. I had that a cappella, Adina Howard, the classic one. It's amazing. There was just a really clean version on YouTube. I was like, oh my God. And yeah, made the track from start to finish and was just like, this is perfect for my sets. I was playing it a lot last summer and just real summer vibes. Like, this was perfect. And then, I sent it to management and I was like, is there any way we can do this? And it took ages, but they managed to make it happen. And it's a sample replay. So it's someone else has sung it and they did an amazing job. And yeah, it just worked. So yeah, very happy.
The thing that I really like about it for myself is that you've got the kind of the nostalgic element of the vocal, but the production is very fresh.
Yeah. The big plucks, the big things before the drop. I was very happy with them. I was. It was. I just got a new synth. Not to geek out, but I just got Arturia Pigment, which is, and I don't know what I was doing. It's very complicated, very confusing. But I just twiddled around for a few hours and had this big noise, and I was like, that's it.
Get the groove right, get the bass right. Dang, 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 dang. Love it.
Yeah, it's as simple as that.
But this is what I'm saying. You've got the vocal for the sing-along crew.
Yeah.
And then you've got the drop for the ravers. What's the response been like? You say you were playing it over summer last year.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, because it seems to be, no matter where you are in the world, people know that vocal. And I don't think they know the original, I think it's catchy. I think the first time you hear it, you can sing it back. It's simple. But the response was just amazing. Like, I've dropped it, I think one of the first times was in Ibiza last year, and it was just perfect for Ibiza. I think it was Ocean Beach, and it was just like, the sun was out, dropped the track, the tequila was flowing.
We have to talk about the fact that Freak is out on your label.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That, for me, is the biggest flex.
Whoa, that is quite a nice flex. I didn't really think of that.
But, I mean, come on. One of these records that feels like it's got that crossover potential without actually watering down anything that you do, and it's on your label. How does that feel?
Yeah, that does feel really good, you know. And I think because we've been like working the record and I've been DJing and stuff, I haven't really taken that in too much. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. Now you mention it. But yeah, it's interesting because the first few releases on the label were pretty deep and wonky and a bit weird. And then this was the first one where we were like, all right, this could do something. Let's take this seriously now. And yeah, it's done really well. Really happy, man.
I want to take you all the way back, though, because I'm really interested in how you got into production. Because as you mentioned, you know what, Southampton is a hotbed of electronic music talent.
It is.
And the drummer from Coldplay.
Don't forget. Don't forget about him.
Don't forget about him. But tell me, what's the Biscits' journey?
Man, where do I begin? I mean, so firstly, just always been into music, musical family, not the ability to make or play it, but just loves music.
Yeah.
And very eclectic taste. And so, like, I think my second album I ever bought was Gorillaz, just Gorillaz.
Ooh.
Yeah, and at the time, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, oh, that's a good cover. I like the look of that. It's a cartoon. Like, do you know what I mean? But then I was, like, getting all this weird inspiration. But, and then when I was 17, I went to Ibiza with my friends, and my eyes were opened to the world. And I didn't have a clue what was going on, but I was like, this is it. Like, I need to do whatever this is. Like, so then I ended up doing music production at college, and then sort of found my feet, like who I liked and like what the sound was going to be originally. And it was French house, it was Justice, and it was Daft Punk.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. This is me. This is it. And like me and my friends went to all the old Ed Banger parties and saw Justice at the Coronet in London.
Wow.
And that was something else. That was a real, like, that opened my eyes fully.
So when did it go from you being a fan of this and learning how to make it to them being an artist?
There is an interesting bit that happened in my life story, if you're interested.
Yeah.
So I was always trying to do music production, never really getting anywhere. And then I went on a stag do to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And at this point, I had a regular office job, and I didn't enjoy it very much. Like, I knew that this was not for me, this environment. Anyway, coming back from this stag do on a regular plane, just coming back to London, and as we take off, the wing explodes.
What?
Yeah, right? So the engine explodes, right, on this wing, and we just taken off. So then it crash lands on the runway, and then we have to evacuate down the slides.
What?
Yeah, and the whole thing's full of smoke, there's fire, there's everything. And yeah, we had to evacuate down the slides. And it was a bit of a near, I don't want to say it, but that was a close one.
Yeah.
So then I had about a month or 2 months of feeling very weird. And I said,
That'll do it for you.
yeah. I felt really weird. Okay, if we're being honest, right? But then I said to myself, I was like, look, if it had gone wrong that day, I would have died a depressed office worker, and I can't have that. And I was like, look, I said to my brother, let me move in with you, sleep on your sofa, just give me a year, and every day I'll do music, and I'll do it as hard as I can. And he was like, yeah, let's do it, as long as you do it as hard as you can. And by the end of that year, to be honest, you played one of my tracks on the radio. Like, I can't believe that. It was a remix thing I did of Moby, like a bootleg thing, and you played that. That was like one of the first things. And then I think like Sonny Fodera picked up one of my songs, and the rest is history, man. Like, it worked. It was bad times, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I needed that push to go all in. And yeah, man. So there you go.
But sometimes we need those things in life to remind us that we're alive.
Yeah.
And we only get one chance.
That's exactly it. And I think if that hadn't have happened, there's no way I would have taken the plunge. And I think for me, it might be different for other people, but I needed to go all in just to know that I'd given it 100%. And then if it hadn't have worked out, I'd have been like, cool, well, at least I tried.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I say. I would have.
No! You'd still be there in
Yeah.
the office going, kind regards.
So, getting flashbacks.
You're blushing now.
Yeah, I am. Oh man.
But now, I mean, it's crazy because you're playing worldwide. And I mentioned it earlier on, you know, just to kind of following what you're doing and where you're traveling to. The sound that you make, the way that you make it, it feels like it's really translating across the world. How does it feel getting those stamps in the passport when you're landing, knowing that you're going to DJ and play tunes that you've made?
Yeah, that very cool. I think for me, I'm really in the moment though of like, get to the airport, get to the hotel, do this, get to the gig, do that. So it's hard to take it in at the time. But when I have those moments where I step back, I am like so grateful. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man. You go to like Australia and they're there and they're like, yeah, go on. And I'm like, yeah.
I heard that in 2018 there was a support slot with Fisher that changed things for you.
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah, there was. That is during that year. After the incident, the bad incident.
Yeah.
And that was pretty game changing because I think at the time he had already started to play one of my songs. I think it was Do It Like This. And to be honest, money had run out by that point. And I had one shift at the co-op near me. Right. And on my lunch break, Charlie phoned me and was like, mate, he was like, Fisher's playing in Nottingham. And they were like, and there's a support slot going, you've got to come up here. And I was like, that's like a 3 or 4 hour drive. I'm at work. I can't do this. And then I was literally like, I'm going. I'm out.
You walked out of co-op?
Yeah, I honestly, I did sort of 3/4 of a shift. I was like, sorry.
Did those shelves ever get stacked? Did those customers ever get served?
No, I'm sorry, I let everyone down. But I just was like, I have to do it. And then it was the most nerve-wracking drive. And I was in my Peugeot 106. I was going up the motorway like,
You really are from Southampton, aren't you?
I'm really But yeah, that was amazing. And that was the peak of losing it. And like, I remember I was stood, because they put me on after him, because he did an early slot and then went off somewhere else. And I was stood waiting to go on, and he was dropping, losing it at its peak. And I was sort of like, with my USB, like, I'm next. That was stressful.
But you obviously held your own.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, I guess so.
I do have to ask the question that we ask a lot of DJs from the UK that play in America a lot.
Oh, okay.
What would you say the difference in crowd is compared to UK to America?
So the UK, to my mind, has more of like I would say, richer history of club culture. I don't know if it does, but it feels like it does to me.
Yeah.
And people have a deeper knowledge, and certain rooms you play, there's rules. And it's like, come on now. You can't play that song at this point. You know you can't. Do you know what I mean? Whereas in America, it's just like, hey, we're here. We love it. Let's just absolutely go nuts. Yeah. And you could essentially drop any tune pretty much at any point, and they're going to love it, which I really enjoy. Just play whatever you want. But no, I mean, they're different. I wouldn't say either is better, but they are different, yeah.
I also love the fact that your name is Biscits. So in America, they will just think that you need some gravy and some fried chicken.
Honestly, yeah. And so I have a packet of local biscuits on my rider. Like any gig I go to, I'm like, give me some local biscuits, right?
That's genius!
It is. And it's sort of, it shows that they have to sort of, they've done something, they've read the thing, they know what they're doing. And like, they're always really good at it. But yeah, sometimes in America, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, they're not warm. I was like, what? Should they be warm? And then they're like, oh, the gravy's off. I was like, what's this? And it's like a scone, right? It's like a scone. And it's just like, they are nice, to be fair. And
the Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits, I'm sorry, are delicious.
Never tried. I'll have to try it.
Next time you're over, Red Lobster is a chain. Okay. Terrible food. Cheddar Bay biscuits, amazing.
Okay, I'm there. I'm literally there.
Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in the studio. I've got a feeling this won't be the last time.
Hey, hopefully. Thanks, man.
I'm really, 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 really over the moon for you with the way that Freak just seems to be growing. But it is interesting for me because I want to know what's happening next.
Ooh.
Where are we going next musically? Because you could do anything now. At this point, you've got your own label.
Yeah.
You're putting out tunes yourself. You're also working with key partners. People I know are always at you for collabs and stuff. What's happening for you for 2025?
Oh, man, I wish I knew. I wish I knew. He wishes I knew as well. No, I'm deep in the studio right now. Like, today, I felt really, like, weird coming out of the studio. Like, oh, sunlight. Like, okay. Like, I'm working hard on it. And my goal is to try and do an album. Because I did an album a few years ago. If I could do one this year on my own label and be in complete control of the artwork, the vibe, everything surrounding it, that would be so cool. So that's the goal, whether or not.
I mean, look, put it out there. No, come on, put it out there.
Yeah, I'm putting it out there. And yeah, I think it's going to be a bit interesting. I've been working on a bit of, things seem to be getting faster.
Yes.
So a bit of 130 to 136, bit of garage vibe, bit of this.
You can't get away from that Southampton garage vibe.
It's in me.
It's in you. It's in the water.
It is.
That's Craig David. Oh yeah.
Is he in the room?
No. That was Dave Cradid.
Oh my god. But yeah, there you go. That's the goal. And yeah, to be in complete control of it, like to be able to, well, just to be able to put out some garage if I want or some whatever. I even threatened some dubstep earlier.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
There we go.
Do it.
I'll do it.
I feel like, because I'm old, I remember when we were last in this kind of musical cycle. And it was when you got people like the Chemical Brothers and you got Fatboy Slim and you got Daft Punk and you got The Prodigy, where it's people making long bodies of music that takes a very long time to build up and cross over.
Yeah.
And it's just good music. And it's people that aren't afraid to take risks on those long forms.
That's the thing. And where it would be on my own label, the risk is just for me. So it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't have to try and get it through some process at a big label or whatever it is. So I'm up for taking the risk. And I think the way I see things going is, just multi-genre. If you feel like doing this, you feel like doing that. Like, you look at, say, Fred again, just for example, it's like people aren't there to see a genre. They're just there to watch the musical experience. So it's like, I think as long as you can feel that it's a bit Biscuitsy, then I'm down. Do you know what I mean? You've got a swing to your music. It's like a Biscuits swing. Nice. Just as long as it's got that swing, we're good. I spend ages on the swing. People think he's that. No. Another percentage point. Too much. Honestly, I'm so weird about swing. I chat to my brother about it. I'm always like, can you feel that? He's like, I don't even know what it means. But he still let you stay on his sofa. He did. So I'm very thankful.